the phones, Betsy Summers, who is the Libertarian candidate for the 14th Senatorial District, is on the phone with us. Betsy, good afternoon.
Hi, L.A. How are you?
All right, pretty good. What's up?
Well, I just, I'm listening to your show today, and you had mentioned that maybe Jack Wagner was getting on, or?
Yeah, I called his office on Friday, and I talked to his spokesman, Ian Anderson, and we came close to setting it up, and then I guess I forgot to call back and firm it up, so we didn't make it. We'll try to get him for next week.
Well, I ran against him back in 2008 and had a chance to debate him. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you, you're talking about these KOZ zones. What about the Department of Community and Economic Development? I mean, here's a agency that needs to be basically disbanded. I mean, they take and there was businesses that our tax dollars were given to because they promised a certain number of jobs. Mm-hmm. And guess what? They go back 3 years later and take a look, and these companies are non-existent. They're gone. The money just up and left.
Yep.
And, nobody files charges. Nobody goes after these people. And why weren't they checked all along? You wonder, how can this happen?
Yep.
So if a department or agency is run so poorly and the taxpayers get no benefits but were promised everything, we should get rid of it. Well, and we should get rid of all the people who work in it.
The guy who's running DCED now is a guy I know pretty well because he used to be the mayor of Hazleton. It's John Quigley, and I know John well. I thought he did a good job as mayor of Hazleton, so I hope he's sharpening up DCED's focus a little bit. But you're right, and again, to jump back to the KOZ program, that is maybe the quintessential example of how, just as you mentioned, there were all these promises made for all these jobs, and they were not created. Certainly not in the numbers, and certainly in the numbers that were promised, and certainly did not produce the salaries
right.
that were promised.
And then you have in Wilkes-Barre, there was a gentleman who had a business that was outside the KOZ zone. So city council voted. They sold him a property within the KOZ zone. He closed his business outside the zone, which was also still in the city of Wilkes-Barre. Mm-hmm. He bought a building for like $14,000, and then he moved into that new building that cost him basically nothing, and is running tax-free. Yeah. And you go drive downtown, all those businesses down there, there are all these empty, vacant buildings. You wonder why in the world won't stores come in there? It's tax-free. Mm-hmm. And we still can't get stores downtown.
I think that when they start playing winners and losers, when the Commonwealth or a local municipality starts picking this business over that business, this one gets a break, this one doesn't. You put for example a supermarket in a KOZ zone, and the supermarket outside the KOZ zone then has a severe disadvantage because his prices have got to be high enough to cover the property taxes where the guy inside doesn't have to. It's just not the way to do it. This doesn't work. Now there are tax abatement programs that do work. There's LRTA, which is the Local Emergency Revitalization Tax Assistance Act. Under LRTA, if you have a $100,000 building, all right, and you're going to put $1 million improvements in it, they'll give you a break in that over a period of 10 years, taxation is phased in. Sometimes it's no taxes for 5 years, then a 20% increment each of the last 5 years, or in other cases, it's 10% a year. But at least you're not losing anything. They're at least paying the existing taxes on it. So LRTA has worked relatively well, but the KOZ and the KOEZ and the KOIZ and I don't know how many, it gets ridiculous. It's like an alphabet soup of programs, and I have never been in favor of them. I was opposed to KOZ from the beginning, and now the thing is running out. And I mean, you realize how bad this was run, Betsy, that when the Legislative and Budget and Finance Committee, which does this kind of thing for a living, this is what it does, is study things. It's not able to study it because the records are kept so badly and the numbers are so inflated, they don't even know what the hell they were looking for. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, and, that's the whole thing about, it's this taxation, you're taxing a large group of people, and then you have a small group of people who's either supposed to keep track of it or redistribute it. Like you said, they're choosing, we'll give this guy KOZ, we won't give that guy KOZ, how they see fit. Well, you know what? That's just wrong. I mean, we should be able to keep our own money.
Hey, let me ask you, are you sure are you definitely on the ballot in November?
I am definitely on the ballot. I was in Harrisburg on Monday. I submitted 2,200 signatures, so over double the amount that I needed. And
because Pennsylvania makes it very hard for third-party candidates to get on the ballot, and it's intentional. Obviously, the Democrats and Republicans don't want any third parties on the ballot. I know I talked to your friend Lou Jazikoff from the Libertarian Party, and he was telling me some of the problems getting on the ballot. Of course, Carl Romanelli's battles with getting on the ballot, and then they're legendary.
Yes, poor Carl. Oh, thank God he's suing him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he got hit with that bill, though, from that court decision that I didn't understand at all. It was something like $90,000. That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. And that just shows you how corrupt our judicial system has become, because they will not even rehear that case, even after some of these people who use state workers to throw him off the ballot.
Yeah, some of them were indicted in Bonus Gate. Right, Yep, and
they're
you're right.
in jail. Yep. It's crazy.
Yep. All right, I got to pay the bills here. Betsy, thanks for the call.
Great to talk to you, Alex.
All right, talk to you again.